Nothing could ever be wrong. That's a bold claim, right? You probably perceive so many things as being wrong. Like, for example, death, suffering, dying. Many things that are perceived by us in life are perceived as being wrong. Is that right? In the least, if you're on the spiritual path, you perceive your current state somewhat as being wrong. Like, why am I not enlightened? That's wrong. And in this video I want to make the case why everything that seems to be wrong is really something that is not in line with truth. In truth, there's nothing wrong. How is it that you perceive things to be wrong in the world? It is purely a mental construction. You have taken your experience and given it a certain kind of feeling, a value, the value of negative or positive. And if it's negative, you also say this negative thing shouldn't happen, it's wrong. Why is it happening? There is nothing wrong. Whatever exists just is. And it is without any labels. We as human beings, we put those labels on top of whatever is. And so reality doesn't really care what you think about it. It always just is whatever it is. And once you realize that there is nothing wrong with your current state, that there is really no problem with being not enlightened, there is no problem with being confused with the ego, with your behavior in the world, with your actions that you think are not loving enough. Once you realize there's absolutely, on the most fundamental level, nothing wrong with that at all, that's when you can actually start the quote-unquote spiritual journey. Because as long as you are still thinking there's something wrong in the world, or with your ego, or with yourself, or with other people, with what they do, or whatever, it will be a huge obstacle to your spiritual pursuits. And I use the term spirituality because it's so widespread, but actually it is mostly meaningless as well. It's so broad, people understand many different things from it. And what I mean here by spirituality is truth realization. It is the clear understanding of the divide between, on the one side, beliefs, and that can be a lot, and then what is true. So that you, in your current very real experience, see truth from beliefs, from inference. There are very real inferences, very real beliefs we have to make in order to interact with the world in a constructive way, in a positive way, you could say, in a way that leads to the results we desire. We need many beliefs to do that, but in the pursuit of separating truth from beliefs, we clearly have to see that we do not know beliefs and that they are fundamentally different from truth. Only if our experience is rooted in truth will we be able to see that there is nothing wrong, and that only in the huge pile of beliefs that wrong is created from that perception of something being wrong is a belief. Truth is never wrong or right, it just is. It is what it is, and it doesn't care what you think about it. And so you have to realize that this is not a path, it's not a journey from something that we might call is a wrong state to a right state, or a less desirable state to a more desirable state. No, it's a journey from being wrapped up in illusion to realization, revelation of truth. And with either, there's nothing wrong. And once you get to that stage, that's actually only the first step, but a necessary first step you need to make, because thinking there is something wrong will keep you trapped in finding a solution out there for what you think is wrong to fit that belief system. And so when you think there is something wrong with the ego, what are you going to do? You are going to spiritual teachers that are going to tell you a lot of things about your ego, about how you can do this practice or that practice, how you can dissolve this false behavior and replace it with that holy, spiritual, great behavior, how you can, I don't know, do so many things, and that will never lead you to truth and not to enlightenment, because you are still operating under the idea that you are in a wrong state and that you somehow have to discover more and more of what is wrong and then just fix all of that is wrong. That is an endless endeavor. Don't even try to go down that route. You will discover endless beliefs that are wrong, and by fixing every one of them, you might in fact become a better person. You might in fact be more effective in how you interact with the people around you, with the world, and that's all fine. You can do all of that, but it's a huge distraction if your goal is truth realization. And that's why you have to get to that first step. Are you even aware of what you are looking for here? Are you trying to fix some of your ego problems? Or do you want to transcend the whole belief and fixing mentality where you have to fix every one of those infinite number of problems that you can discover deep within your psyche that you are maybe not even aware of? So first step, realize there's nothing wrong. Everything as it is truth. And fixing whatever you think is wrong is not the way to realize truth. I hope this made clear the distinction between many of the other so-called spiritual teachings out there and what it really means to go for enlightenment, for truth, to reveal itself here and now and not fix any of those ideas of yours, what you perceive as wrong or what other ideas you have of what is better, because that's all beliefs. Hope this was helpful. So with that, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.